Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm using my phone camera again because I just can't seem to get on setting up my DSLR. Like, the lighting's always off and it's just not, I don't know, I have a hard time, and then like my camera lens tries to autofocus the whole time and all you can hear is like when I'm doing it, and even if I focus it beforehand then it's sort of, if I move it's like out of focus. So I don't know, I'm just not very, I don't have a lot of knowledge around those things, and when they take a long time to set up and I don't have very long time, then I will just not use it. So I do want to use it more, but I don't know why I'm just talking about this. I wanted to talk about ADHD because yesterday I went through loads of my old videos that I put on YouTube, and you guys can't see so many of them because I've privated them, and you know, I privated them for various reasons in the past, but I keep them private. I keep most of them private now because they sadden me. I look back on them and most of them, you know, I had a channel name of Finding Your Serenity because I had no serenity and I was trying to find it, and it was sort of like an intention almost that I set by calling my channel name this, where I wanted to find inner peace because I didn't have any, and you know, I was really unhappy, I was depressed, anxious, and you know, I was trying to try and find those highs, you know, like those things, like finding stimulation all the time basically. And you know, I see a lot of people saying things like, oh, everybody, or you know, I'm a little bit ADHD, or I probably have ADHD, but the thing is though, like, I feel that if you're not struggling, then, you know, when the struggle comes in, that's when a diagnosis is required, you know. That's what that's how I feel anyway. I don't know how anybody else thinks about that, but I look back at those videos and I'm trying to talk to a camera and it's really difficult for me to get my words out. I'm kind of all over the place, and I'm kind of like looking like all over the place, hardly ever like, why I'm concentrating on the camera a little bit, but not like I do nowadays. And yeah, I'm really struggling to like get my words out and everything, and some of it I'm like, what am I even saying in this video? This isn't really even making any sense, and it saddens me so much because there's some videos where I'm like talking about my struggles, and I'm talking about how I'm trying to seek and I'm trying to find happiness, or I'm trying to find inner peace. And then some videos I was talking about how you can find inner peace and stuff, like by doing meditation and yoga, and things like that. And those things helped me so much at the time because I needed them so much in my life. Like, they were the only moments I felt some peace. Obviously, like, I felt some peace in nature as well. Other than that, like, I didn't really have any peace. Like, everything was chaotic all the time. And I look back at myself and I remember why I privated some of those videos in the first place. I was looking back at myself and judging myself really harshly, and I was thinking, oh my god, I'm so weird in this video. Why would anybody watch this video? It's terrible. And I mean, they weren't great videos or anything, but I was just being so harsh about myself, and you know, I was like, I'm talking really weird, and I'm not making any sense, and just really judging myself in a nasty way. And today I look back on those videos and I feel really bad for that person that I was. I don't see a weird person. I don't see a person who has no personality or whatever I used to think about myself. And I see somebody who's really, really struggling and, you know, is trying to reach out for help and just doesn't receive any. Like, I've been to therapy, I've been to the doctors so many times. I've been to like different types of therapy to try and get rid of some of the anxiety that I was feeling, but it was caused by my ADHD. So how could I get rid of that? And you know, my emotions were just all over the place all the time because I was feeling so frustrated, so overwhelmed, and then there were times when I was feeling so bored, empty, and I just felt terrible. And I look back at those videos and I can almost see myself almost crying. Like, I can see the pain in my eyes of like how it was for me. And oh my gosh, like, it just really humbled me to watch those videos, you know, because, I mean, I didn't watch them all, but maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I might insert some clips at the end so you can see like what I mean. But I think this is really why it's important for me to write this book as well. It's important for me to talk about ADHD. It's important for me to make videos about ADHD because I was struggling so much. I wish that I could tell everybody else who was struggling with ADHD, this is what you have, there is hope for you. And I mean, just knowing you have ADHD is such a big, huge helper. Obviously, medication helps so much. Like, medication does not get rid of your ADHD, it just helps you, and it helps you manage the symptoms that you may experience from ADHD. And I've come to realise that a lot, and sometimes I'm looking back and I'm like, well, basically recently I've been thinking like, am I autistic as well? And you know, there's a lot of signs that point to that, yes, but then there's some signs that I'm like, maybe this is just because of my ADHD. And when I started taking medication, it was almost a feeling of I don't have ADHD anymore. That's how good the medication made me feel. That's the big difference that I felt within that. But yeah, I still don't think there's any way to know for sure that if I have autism. I can't talk. If I'm autistic or not, without actually going to a doctor, or you know, a psychiatrist and being assessed. I think that's the only way I'm going to do it. And so I plan to do that. I recognise that the struggles I have socially or just mentally have a lot to do with ADHD as well. I can kind of pinpoint that, I guess. But, you know, I definitely feel that which one is more important to get diagnosed with, definitely ADHD in my life, because my ADHD affects me more than, say, if I have autism, then that affects me. But maybe I just haven't explored that enough, I don't know. But how I feel now is I'm not struggling with those things anymore. And it just makes me sad because I look back at myself and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could just hug that person and tell them that it's gonna be okay, that there's help for you out there. And you know, this is why I feel so strongly about sharing about ADHD online. It's not for people to bring awareness around ADHD and for people to be more accepting about it. Obviously the things are important, but for me it's sort of like helping people who are thinking maybe they've got ADHD or, you know, they're struggling in some way and it could be ADHD, so maybe look into that, and helping people with ADHD to accept themselves and find the right treatment and everything. So yeah, it's really important for me to do that because I just look back at my life and I'm just like, I was barely living. I was surviving. I was just getting by for the people in my life. I wasn't really enjoying my life, and it just really, really sucked. And since I take medication, I've been able to go on this big personal growth journey that I just wasn't able to even like begin beforehand. You know, right before I started taking ADHD medication, I did start going on a personal growth journey, I guess. I sort of initiated it because I was so fed up and I needed things to change. I could not have things going the same way that they were because it was just getting worse. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I was just thinking about how I wasn't really living and I was just surviving, and I was just that poor girl, you know. And how people didn't see that, how I covered that up, I am not sure. But nobody said anything to me, you know, nobody it's almost like nobody cared, but nobody really knew. I was just hiding a lot of it, a lot of the time. Like my partner knew, but that was it really, nobody else really knew. So yeah, I just wanted to share that message with you, that little story, and yeah, I might insert some clips here so you can sort of see what I mean, but you know, it's very vulnerable for me to share this sort of thing, so yeah, it'd be nice. See you in another video. I can judge myself really harshly. I saw another car pull up and this lady had like her dogs off the lead, and I was just like, I just can't be doing with that. I can't be doing with people. I just wish I could get away from people without just being at home, because my home's a mess, and that's why I was really annoyed with myself. I didn't tidy up, but I was tired. By August, which is ridiculous, that's ages away. It's May now. So on Friday I woke up super early. I got up at 5 AM. I left my house, I think it was about 5:55, and I cycled to work. Realised I need to take some time to be by myself. I have spent so much time just being in a bad place, I guess, and wanting things to be different all the time, wanting to feel different all the time. I'm in this place of suffering all the time, and I don't want to be in this place of suffering all the time. I definitely feel like I'm not healing. It's so peaceful right now. I'm sorry I'm quite slow at talking, because I have to process my thoughts before I bring them out to speak them, I guess, and it's just the way I am. So I was just like crying in the middle of Jersey because I thought everything would change and everything would be okay once I had gone on holiday. Which obviously it was just my mindset that needed changing, not my location or anything like that. But I kind of cling on to things, like I think I will be happier when the weather improves, or I will be happier when I'm somewhere nicer. I believe that I am not going to be truly happy. I don't know what it is, but I will make videos and I will edit them, and the finished product I'll be like, I've rushed this completely. It's not good enough for YouTube, it's not good enough for me to post, it's really boring. Nobody's gonna want to watch what I post. And all these negative thoughts that really are really like, shouldn't exist basically. I don't think they should, but I let them in and then I don't feel so good. I have always had low self-esteem, I guess. I just want to believe in myself and I want to do me, but I also want to try and do more than me.